Hi everyone, welcome to the Better You podcast.
Welcome to the Expensive Thoughts podcast. My name is Yuwen,
My name is Patricia.
and today we've got
And I'm from Manchester. I just recently came back for mini break. But nice to join this podcast, ready to share whatever we have experienced for the past few years.
I'm Ying Yun. So I've been working in KL, and I think how I got to know Patricia and Yun because we were housemates when we were studying back in the UK. Yeah.
And I'm Eunice. I'm not part of the housemate, but I was the honorary housemate because I was there too many times in their house that I'm already officially awarded the honorary housemate award.
yes.
Back to you.
So
We should
basically,
make you some certificate or something.
so basically today's session is a bit special because we got all of our housemates back in the UK to come back. There's one more guy called Wijun. He's not here with us today, but essentially today's episode is about reminiscing what we used to have back in the house and celebrating how much changes we see in each other. And also especially since it's actually the new year 2026, there'll be an amazing year ahead for all of us. Don't we want to say happy new year to everyone first?
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Amazing.
So, I think to start off for icebreaker session, what's the first thing that comes to mind for everybody when you think of our old house days?
For me, the most significant memory for me, it's always the conversations that we have in kitchen. So even on normal days without like special occasion, we would come down around evening time and then we will cook together. I mean, cook our own meal at the same time, not like cooking for each other. But even then, even just cooking our own meal, we still have a lot of good conversation with each other while we're cooking dinner. And of course, like during some festivals like Chinese New Year, Christmas, and then we have Eunice coming over to our house. And Eunice is always the one like leading the cooking. And every time when we're doing like cooking in the kitchen, we always have good conversation with each other. And I think that is one of the things that I miss the most, I guess. Yeah.
Another thing is just laughter, really.
Yeah.
Whether we laugh through good times, bad times. And I personally believe, we've gone through trauma. That's the best way of
yes.
getting us all together.
I guess when I
yeah.
say conversation, part of the conversation is that.
Yeah,
as well.
laughter, yeah. Just
Laughter
saying,
and complaining about work.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. especially econometrics. I think that's the one that gets everyone trauma. But yeah, I think saying silly things without worrying, just being ourselves. I think that's the part that I miss the most.
Yeah.
I think I quite agree. An extension from there is basically like because when you have a bunch of Malaysian students studying overseas and then you don't have your family, you don't have your old friends, but you have each other. So we all always come together to sort of help each other have a better sense of belonging. And also, especially during festive seasons where we all come together to like make different festive food. And that itself is very fun because we do have like different occasions where everybody plays a role to help ensure it all comes together. Like somebody's on the cutting, somebody's on the cooking, somebody's on like the decors. There's always something together there's always something to be done so that everyone can have fun.
I think like just to summarize everything, I think as the head chef of all these cook-offs, it was also like a very fun time because I see how everybody is very cooperative and everybody tries to work together, which ultimately culminated in one of our final biggest cook-offs ever, which is like a celebration for our graduation where all of us, as well as our parents and our landlords, were invited for like a big barbecue, and we cook like satay, we made like chicken wings, we made like a bunch of stuff like Western, Asian, whatever you name it. And I think we also had very meaningful sessions on sharings of what we know about each other, how we describe each other, and what we have learned throughout staying together, and all the experiences that we had. I think that to me was kind of one of my highlights of my time during my degree.
Okay. Thanks for sharing, everyone. Now let's talk about what's one memory of us living together that maybe makes you laugh or maybe cry, or what's your favorite memory about being together. I think maybe I can go first. So for me, it's definitely deep talks. What I like about housemates, and I think that sets us apart from other housemates, is that we just love deep talks and we just love talking about life. It can just be over like dinner or even late night talks. So that's what I felt like we bonded through best together. Any takers next?
The sentence I'm going to say is going to sound wrong, but trust me. So, like, the funny thing that happens in our house sometimes is when we all shower at the same time and then we run out of hot water. And I can hear Wei Jun screaming when the
Shower
restaurant-
separately, by the
Yes.
way, guys.
Yeah. But I can hear Wei Jun screaming like, "Oh my god, the water's so cold! Can you stop showering first?" And then like, yeah, that's a funny thing that like makes me laugh sometimes. Yeah, in the house.
I think actually for me, maybe not so much of a moment, but more like in hindsight, when you look back, how very different personalities really do come together to make what seems to be one of the most cooperative student household at the time. I think it's very interesting because like, you know, it doesn't just go there overnight. There are a lot of like frictions here and there that we have to talk things through. There are people trauma bonding over econometric projects. There are people who, you know, it's kind of like because of all the sharing, the late nights, deep talks, the cooking that we did together, and eventually that household itself, it became a group of people who are very willing to be there for one another. And I feel like that itself is just the beauty of it. That is what I remember most about.
Okay, great. So this is a very important question. Is do you think we would survive living together again? And that includes also Eunice. I know we didn't stay together, but let's say now, do you think we would be okay to live together or absolutely chaos? What do you guys think?
I think should be okay, but I guess like because after we graduated from uni, everyone has our own life at different places. Like some of you guys were in UK, and then some of us we came back to Malaysia. So our lifestyle might change a bit since uni. But I guess like it just needs some time to like get used to it again, and eventually I feel like we will still be able to do it actually.
Very valid point. I'm going to give a very loyal answer and say it depends.
Yeah.
Because I think we would be able to do it, but because as Yumin said just now, we have all transitioned from living together to living our own separate lives. So I feel like it's possible, but there will be a transition period where we have to get used to things again, getting used to everybody's bathroom schedule, getting used to everybody's cooking schedule, and not fight over the hob when we need to boil something and someone else needs to cook something. But I think it is still possible. Yeah, so I think it is quite probable that we will be able to still live together.
I think quite probable also because like if you already have that kind of experience as a uni student venturing out there and getting used to people, that itself is already a training, and it feels a bit built in that person. Now if you have to do it all over again, it's the same. Because imagine any of us wanting to go for like masters now, you have to do it like it or not. Yeah, so similar. But it's gonna be easier with us because you are doing it again with people who have done it with you once.
Or maybe harder because you know we've known each other longer. Yeah, joking. Right. So for the next question, right? Like if your 22-year self could see you now, what would they be proud of? So I think for me, the biggest change that I can see, I actually reflected a bit before the new year. I feel like if I were to go to Warwick now and stay with other people, I'll be a lot more confident because the 22-year-old self, I was still like trying to find myself. I was still trying to fit in. But I think right now I'm a lot more like I don't care what other people think. Like even if I make mistakes, like I know like I tried my best and probably nervous. So yeah, that's probably my change that I can see in myself. How about you, Chung Han?
It's a bit similar to that. So I can talk about, going on my experience going on a solo trip twice. One is to Edinburgh 2 years ago, and one is just recently a few months back. And compared to my Edinburgh trip, I think Edinburgh, my mind was racing throughout the whole time, just wondering what could go wrong during the whole trip. But this time on my Newcastle trip, it was more calm. I was more able to calm myself down and just enjoying the moment in time. And it's also same in my workplace also. I think now if something goes wrong, let's say 2 years ago, I'll be panicking, but now I know I can stay calm and then focus on creating a solution for something. I think my few years ago self will think, wow, that's amazing. I wouldn't have thought I would grow into that. So yeah, that's something that I'm proud of.
Oh, it sounds so much self-development there for both of you. Anyone else wants to share a bit more about, how do you feel? Okay, I can share first. I was gonna give you guys some chance, but it's okay. I'll do it.
Too many, long list.
I think one of the things about 22-year-old me is that I was like, I think I was very I was actually quite wild and risk taking at that time, in my opinion. I think now I have mellowed down quite a bit. Maybe because of my circumstance. as in, I'm working in an environment that feels very corporate and that is also like government linked to some extent. And then a lot of my immediate surrounding community, especially at work, they are not necessarily people who would put themselves out there and be as risk taking as my 22-year-old self would be. So I feel like I have mellowed down in many sense, but then at the same time, it's like I'm still a lot more like confident in myself also, because like back then when I was still doing uni, it felt like my academics wasn't my focus. But then all I wanted was just to like have fun and fun and fun and fun. But then now I actually have a lot more like in terms of like practical, conventional career focus. That is something that I see in myself, and it feels a lot more anchored in my life than being somebody who is always thinking about where to go for travel next. Yeah. So I feel like that's a mature transition to adulthood lah. It's like we need that.
All right. So what's your biggest wow, I'm really an adult now moment?
I guess for me, it's really when I get my own place in KL. So when I came back from the UK, I actually rented in because I work in KL, but my family, we are not based in KL. So I actually rented in KL for like I think 2 years, and then after the contract ended, then me and my parents were discussing, and then we decided to like get a place in KL. So what makes me feel like the real adult moment is it's also because like throughout the whole process of like getting the house and also like the renovation process, because my parents are both based in Malacca, so sometimes most of the time they are unable to like come to KL all the time to help me with like document process and like renovation process and all those things. So basically like I am mainly doing the things on my own, so and a lot of those things are things that I've never done before and I've never learned before, like documentation for like purchasing a property. And then when it comes to renovation, things like electrical wiring, plumbing, and all those things, those are the things that I've never learned before. But because of this, I get a chance to like experience everything myself. So that is that moment for me, I guess. Yeah.
I think one of the adulting moments just happened just now, because as we were exchanging our name cards, I realized like, wow, like we are actually all working adults now. We are no longer exchanging, oh, where do you go to travel? What are your travel plans? Sharing pictures of where to go next, or sharing some reels on Instagram. But now we're all like working adults, and we're all like, oh, your name card, and talking about, oh, your name card is so cool. I finally see your Chinese name on my on your name card. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a happy moment, because it kind of reminds me of how far we have gone, and it reminds me that this meetup today, it's kind of also just to catch up on what everybody is doing right now. And I think to me, this is an adulting moment for real for me this year.
I think I want to add a bit on that also, because like you said, like changing cards, what we have been doing, this and that. These are all keywords that scream at me that technically speaking, now a major part of our life is at the moment it's a lot about our career, our work, and that's what you spend most of your days doing. And you meet people there, you grow professionally, you speak professionally at work, and this and that. And I think like even just now we were also talking about how like now we all have different views about how LinkedIn works as well and how we use it. Yeah. And yeah, so it just seems like what seems to be part of life has transitioned hugely from back then to now.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only outliers we had just now with the name card was just me and Ethan because we were from the UK and then we don't really have a physical card. So all mine was digital. So it was really an adult moment where, oh wow, my friends, wow, very professional. Amazing. So what's one thing you wish someone had told you about adult life? And
I think problems can be solved. You just need to be calm when you face it. I think when I started my career, I think I have a very maybe unhealthy attitude towards problems. When they come, I would think like, oh my God, why did this problem come at this time? I'm not ready to face it. But then when I work with more and more people and I see the way they solve problems is very different from how I view problems. They're more optimistic when they look at it and say, okay, that's a problem. Let's see how we can solve it. And sometimes you can ask around, how people solve issues. You're not alone when you solve problems. You can always reach out to them, talk to them, and see what's their view on how to solve a problem. So I think it's just view problem as something that is an opportunity to grow. It sounds very cheesy, I know, but it is true that there's always something to learn from each problem. And every problem you solve, you just grow into a better person.
that's very nice, the way you shared. I think for me, it's like I wish adults would have told us how bad our back pain would get as the year goes by. But yeah, jokes aside, like very similar to how Ethan has said, like I think once maybe we all can relate, once we step out into the working world, we know how to like manage ourselves better and stay calmer. Because I guess we are more mature in a sense and we get to know ourselves better. I guess it would be nice if adults were to share some tips on how the reality really is, instead of like sugarcoating. Oh, once you are an adult, you make your own money, you have more freedom. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. How has your idea then of success changed in these 3.5 years?
I think for mine, it has changed quite drastically. Okay, so I think last time in university, the meaning of success is basically getting good results, being a top student, performing very well, getting an award in university. But when you enter the working world, I think the word success means a lot differently for me now. Because 3 years ago, when I first opened LinkedIn, all I saw was people posting about their achievements, them getting some award, getting some recognition, how they won this major case, how they put forth this argument that changed the law. But in recent times, I have changed my perspective on how these achievements appear on LinkedIn. I used to be very afraid because I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm quite intimidated by what everyone else is doing because I don't think I'm even close to that. But in the last year, I've changed my perspective to look at LinkedIn as a way to put what I've learned in my career into LinkedIn as like a personal diary. So say I read about this very interesting case and I decide to post a poster about it just to share what I've learned throughout the year or even the lessons I've learned throughout my first year of practice. So I see it more as a way of expressing myself and keeping a diary of how I've grown in this year professionally rather than using it as a standard of measure to see whether am I good enough? Am I doing well enough? Is this good enough? Is there something else that I need to do? But seeing it, changing my perspective to see it as a way to learn, a way to grow, and a way to document whatever I've learned in that year has made me redefine the meaning of success. Success isn't really about being the best or winning the biggest case. It's about looking back and telling yourself that, look what I've achieved this year. Look at how much I've grown this year. And that to me is what defines success.
How inspiring.
I think for me it's like I feel like I can really relate to what Eunice said just now because I think when I first joined when I first enter like when I first started my job, I also have this kind of mindset, like maybe because we are very used to that mindset in uni or in school where we always have to get the best result, be the best in everything, as if like everything is a test, everything is an exam. But then I guess when I first started my job, I also brought that mindset into my job as well. So then after that, I realized like actually having a student mindset in your career is in a way quite harmful for your own well-being as well, because you're always trying to it seems like you're always trying to prove something. You're always trying to impress people in the industry, your boss or whoever. But like sometimes that becomes the things that stop you from like performing your best, because you're always thinking of like impressing someone, and like you know, like as if like you're trying to answer a test. Yeah, but I think what changed the most, my definition of success, what changed the most is, I think when I was in uni, my definition of success focused a lot on my career. So I always think about, once I graduated, I need to get, a job that is like, that promise like a stable income, a high pay, and like a professional job that, the title must sound good and all those things lah, basically. But after that, but now I feel like my definition of success becomes more balanced, I guess. So it's no longer only about career, but it's also about life. So now I kind of think of it as, yes, I want my career to be stable and successful, but at the same time, I also need my life outside of work to be stable and like, healthy, and just feel with the things that I enjoy doing instead of just all about work. So I think maybe I say this a lot to people, like I am someone who I feel like I'm only successful when both my career and my life are equally successful at the same time. Yeah.
Thanks all for sharing. Very inspired by everything you guys said. This question is something that I really want to ask everyone. So if we meet again in another 3 years, what do you hope we'll be celebrating? And hopefully we'll meet again less than 3 years, guys.
3 years, that means that will be 2029.
9.
Yeah.
So will I hear wedding bells from some couple?
It might be you yourself.
Maybe.
I think a lot can happen in 3 years,
Yes,
because even
yeah.
looking back, like every year since I started working, it has changed drastically. Like my worldviews, not say community, but like the number of the different people that I mix with, my perspective, my achievements, work wise, non work wise, and every it's kind of like, because throughout the year you join so many different things, and while I call these things life changing for me, what I mean is like they are very horizon expanding. They change a bit of my perspective, and I'm influenced to look at world with more empathy, for example. And I'm always so inspired by being able to do all this outside of my work, that because I feel like to some extent they change how I look at life, and it becomes there's more appreciation for life itself. So 3 years is a long time, because so it's to allow a lot of things to happen, so very excited to see like what it's gonna be, but I know for sure like myself is gonna be on a positive trajectory lah. Hopefully everybody keeps up.
You won't see, you're dodging the question. But jokes aside, I really hope that no one gets into any crime in the next year. No headline news, guys.
In case there is, I'm a lawyer.
Contact units, guys.
I think the theme is change. I think I would celebrate any form of change, like that we are progressing. So any change we should celebrate. So I think, for example, I think 3 years ago, I wouldn't be able to say I can talk to a partner or director to discuss about something. I would be shocked that I can do that. But like recently I've done that. So that's a change, and that's something that we should celebrate. And I think any change really that, for like, I don't know, it can be any change. It can be a small or big change. It doesn't matter. But as long as we're moving forward, I think that's a good thing to celebrate.
That's a great way of, ending the question. So then that leads us naturally to the second last question. Who do you think has changed the most? Tough one, right?
Okay.
We're like all looking at each other.
To be fair, we just met after like a very long time.
I think if you say like from like our here and there kind of
Yeah.
engagement throughout the past 3 years, I think I want to say I see a lot of growth in Bashisha herself, because you have grown into somebody who is who is much more confident in yourself, who is much more confident in the things that you do. And I think that itself, even from the way you carry yourself now compared to 3 years ago, it reflects a lot of your personal development. Yeah, I think that to me at least is a very obvious yeah, it's a very obvious thing lah.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
I don't mean to copy Ewan's answer, but I think I do agree with him on this point that I do really see a lot of positive changes in Patricia, because I know like working in the UK on your own isn't easy at all. And being able to pull through all the challenges definitely has shaped you into a better person. And I do really see like a more confident, a more independent version of yourself. And I can really see you right now, even with this, like all the podcasts that you're doing, trying to make the best of your time and make sure that you also help other people out there who may be struggling with the same things. And at the end of the day, I can see what you're really trying to do is to bring out the best in yourself and in other people. And I think to me that is very inspiring.
Actually, I have the same answer.
Before you start, don't make me cry.
No, I would also agree. I think it's Patricia, but like not only because your confidence, your independence, but also I still remember last time when we were in the same house. I think at that time you were someone who get anxious a bit much more easily compared to now, and I still remember like you would like forget to eat your dinner just because you want to study for exams and all those things. But now looking at you, I feel like you're taking care of yourself much, much better. And you have also learned to manage your anxiety much, much better compared to last time. So yep, I see a lot of growth in you as well. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Sometimes that growth is also seen in like you being kinder to yourself lah.
Yeah.
I feel like that is one thing that maybe in adulthood that we all learn to be, and you have demonstrated that you have managed to. Oh.
Thank you all. I managed to
Wanna
hold.
cry? Wanna cry?
I managed to hold my tears until the last minute of the question. Okay, thank you. The last part that I want to ask everyone is, what's your personal better you goal for the new year?
To try something different, I think past year there have been like quite a lot of changes from when I step up from each position, but I think now I'm more comfortable with what I'm doing now and all that. But I think I want to try something more for my personal development in terms of like, I don't know, meet more people really. I think there's a lot of people in Manchester. There's definitely some groups to join, go for a hiking group or something. I love hiking, and I think I feel like I need to join a group, to just meet more people, broaden my horizon. Take the opportunity when I still can. Yeah.
Me, I was going to say like, don't stop loving myself, but I feel in 2025 I've done that. So maybe my own personal goal is finding someone that adds value to me, because I used to think like a relationship should be the person completing me. I'm looking forward what God has in plan for me. But at the same time, if there isn't anyone, I'm okay by myself. And I could just be the cool rich auntie. Yeah.
Can you be my cool rich friend as well?
Auntie for your children.
I think for me this year, my slogan for this year is, what doesn't challenge you doesn't change you. So I think this year for me, I want to push myself a bit more out of my comfort zone in terms of like different aspects of my life, in terms of like career, personal growth, development, and just doing more than what I've been doing last year. Like just even by being a little bit more kind to people, being a bit more caring to people, reaching out to others first. And I mean, to me, I believe that you should do unto others what you want others to do unto you. And I think that's what I want to do more this year, is to be a better friend, or to be someone who is there to listen to someone else when they have a problem. And I want to make the impact in someone's personal life rather than just trying to do anything for show. At the end of the day, I just want to be real. Yeah, I think that's my goal for this year.
Oh, amazing.
I think for me, my goal for next year, at this stage, I feel like mainly it's still my career actually, because hoping for progression next year, hopefully, and also in terms of personal development, just want to try to learn more new things and try new experience this this year. We're already in 2026 and I keep forgetting, because I think 2025 has been a very interesting year for me, because I've tried different new experience as well, things that and some of the things that I tried I actually really enjoy doing, And so I would like to continue that for 2026 to try more new things, to learn new skills. So who knows, I can find something that I really like also. Yeah.
I think, yeah, last but not least, from me, it would be like, I think I already know 2026 will be a challenging year for me at work. Like in terms of my career, my technical development, a lot of effort will have to be channeled into ensuring that I demonstrate growth in that areas. So that is one challenge. But at the same time, is me. I mean, despite like I mentioned earlier, despite being a little bit more mellow, where I don't take as much risk to put myself out there, I'm still pretty active and I'm still very adventurous and I'm still always I always crave for boundary pushing things. I want to take like calculated risk to be able to do all of this despite allocating more resources into my career this upcoming year lah. Yeah, because I love having excitement here and there. So yeah, something to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, everyone. I just want to say, as a housemate, right? I feel like everyone has grown in their own way. So I'm so happy to meet you guys again after so long. And I wish you guys all the best. So before we say goodbye, I just want everyone to do a small mini kind of spread some kindness. So could we all maybe say something to the person on our right? Maybe I will wish for them in the new year or before we meet again. All right, so maybe I can start first. So to Ying Yun, right? I want to say I wish you all the best in the new year. Most important is health. And also for your career progression, like you mentioned, I just want you to be happy and you deserve everything in this world.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I think for Eunice, also just want to wish you like all the best in the new year. And I've seen your progress in your career and just want to say I'm very, very proud of you. And and yeah, I'm pretty sure you can continue to do well for the next year. Just all the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and mine is to Ethan. Well, first off, I wish you a safe flight back to Manchester tomorrow. Okay, but jokes aside, I do hope that you'll be able to continue to progress in your career. I know that life can be a bit more lonely sometimes in the UK, but if you ever need to speak to someone or like talk about something that you are concerned about, please do like let us know. And I'm sure like any one of us will be more than willing to talk to you. I mean, but don't call us at 3 a.m. in the midnight lah. But yeah, the time zone difference. But that's it. Like I'm sure like you'll be doing well. And if you ever need that person to talk to, that all of us will be always ready to talk to you and to speak to you or have a heart-to-heart talk with you.
Oh, thanks. Sorry. That would be a hard one to top. But thank you so much, Eunice. That's a very nice wish. And for Ewan, I think, of course, good health, happiness. I think that's a very important thing. And obviously your career too. I think you can push boundaries and I will really just look forward to see what lies ahead in your career progression. I'm sure you do well. You're always an idea person. You come up with the best ideas for us to have like the best housemate activities all the time. I'm sure you will create good ideas also for your firm that you work in. So yeah, all the best for your career.
Thank you. Very, very kind of you. So I was for Batrisha. I think, as we know, 2025 it has been boundary pushing for you as well. So having seen you being able to do it for 2025, I'm sure 2026 is gonna strive even. You'll be able to achieve way more, and I'm excited for you. And I think we all know 2026, like what we have mentioned earlier. For both of us, we think 2026 is gonna be challenging but fun. So just know that we are on this journey together and it's gonna be even more fun in early 2027 when we look back and we look at how much we have grown. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, everyone. I guess this is the end of our session today, unfortunately, but we had such an amazing time. Thank you all for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to the Better You podcast.
And also the Expensive Thoughts podcast.
Stay tuned for the next episode, and Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Warwick teas, guys.